Create some space for yourself and like make yourself comfortable and safe. For that time, if you want to listen till the time you're waiting, if you want to listen to a song, if you want to just be in the moment, you can do that. I will write these things in chat just in case people who keep coming in. Yes, Kanat, I think you can get the recording of the session, and it's okay if your net is slow. So by the end, I'll talk about that tomorrow as well, and today end as well. That me and Bhavya will be giving small assignments in order to get the certificate also. So you can see the recorded class, do that, and then get back to us. So it's okay if your net is slow. But I would really encourage people to open their videos today because today's act like both these days are expressive arts, and I would like to see people in this expressive arts context. So see your faces and just have open spaces. Again, reiterating this is a safe space. One more minute, and I think then we can start and people can keep on joining. Hello, hello everyone. One more minute, we are waiting for more people to join in and then we'll start. Okay, I think we can start right now. So, again, reiterating, you need some space for yourself. I would really encourage you to open your cameras. This is a safe space. I've kept my camera open for 5-10 minutes because I also want to get comfortable, and I wish that you also do that. So that I can also see you, you can also see me and each other in order for this exercises to be more fruitful because we're not doing this in person. So for online, I would really encourage people to open their cameras. Again, it's a safe space. If you ever feel comfortable or like nobody's gonna judge, nobody's gonna see. And again, it's not my only duty to make it a safe space. It's the duty of the whole group to make it safe for each other. And I hope we'll all do that. And if at any point I um, don't use the correct pronouns for your name, please let me know. Because in Google Meet we can't see. Mine are she, her. Okay, so I'll be sharing now. Thank you, Atu. So, sharing. Is everything visible? All good? Okay, cool. So we'll be doing catharsis, grounding, and safety through expressive arts techniques. This will go through today and tomorrow. Uh, and the focus will be on the LGBTQIA plus community, as discussed. Then a few trigger warnings and disclaimer that movement art can be extremely powerful sometimes. So at any moment, if you feel unsafe or if you're not there in the moment or if it's not feeling comfortable, please let me know. Write it in the chat. Take some space for yourself. Move away from the space if you need that. Okay. So, what is movement according to everyone? I would really like to know what movement means to you. According to this
Can I
group,
go ahead?
yeah, sure, you can go ahead.
Shifting from a static place.
Hmm. Okay. And you can write it in chat also, guys. What is movement? What is movement for everyone? In mental health space, personally, in general, what is to everyone? What does it do to you if that's there? Okay, we'll wait for something, some replies. For me personally, it's just when my body and me are communicating with each other. So I'm moving it and my body is. Movement for me is to connect with my own self and ground myself. Interesting. How do you think that that happens in general? Or like we can get back to it later on also. Sorry, your mic is not working. We can get back to it at the end of the workshop. You can tell me how it, you know, grounds you. And I hope that you experience that. Keep that feeling with you. Uh, Connect with self and to ground. Keep that with you. So the next is movement help you express in indirect ways that can be less threatening to our brain. We are not using words. So we are not confronting our emotions directly. We are doing it in indirect ways. Okay. So we'll these two things I really want you to keep with yourself. One, when we're doing the activity, one will be that movement helps in indirect ways for catharsis and us to express. And the second would be listening and recognizing your body. Whenever you're doing an exercise, please listen to your body. Okay. So, our first activity. For this, I would have really liked if you would have opened your cameras, but we will do it in our own spaces then, and you can see me. So, in this activity, I want everyone to imagine an animal that you think is close to you right now with your emotion and whom you relate to the most. I'll repeat it in Hindi also if anybody else is comfortable in that. कोई भी एक एनिमल लीजिए जिसके साथ आप सबसे ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल फील करते हैं, जिसके साथ आपको लगता है कि आप रिलेट कर पा रहे हैं, एंड जस्ट थिंक अबाउट दैट एनिमल फॉर नाउ. Send me a yes if you have an animal in mind whom you relate to at this moment. Okay, one yes. Come on, yes. Okay, good. Anyone else? Yes, good, good. I need more yeses, guys. You need to participate in a movement workshop. Okay, great, great. You all have an animal. Okay. I'm assuming everybody has an animal now. People have not said yes to. Now we're going to imitate that animal. You have your cameras off. There is no scope of any judgment or anything because no cameras are on. So see me and we'll imitate an animal for at least 4 to 5 minutes in every way possible. Drink water like that animal, eat like that animal, make your body feel like that animal and the emotion that you're feeling. Okay, we'll take 3 4 minutes to do this. I will do this with my camera on so you can see me also. That creates a safe space for me because you all are creating that safe space. So we'll start. 1 2 3. I hope you got the gist and everybody is in their animal elements. So people have just joined. Imagine an animal in your head and the animal you relate to the most and the animal who has your emotional exchange the most. Like I did elephant because right now I'm feeling calm, excited still, relaxed. Mine was elephant. And I did that. I'm happy. So I did this movement elephant also. I drank water like this. This is a happy elephant sign and grounded as well. So everybody do an animal for like at least till 7:15. You have to be in that animal. I'll also be good. Okay. Okay, it's 7:15. People now tell me, how did you feel? For you, according to you, how can imitation help? And current emotion expression without words, how is it for you? I want chats, at least. If not, nobody is unmuting. First, tell me, how did you feel? Was it awkward? Was it weird at first? That is also a feeling. Just write your feelings.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I felt more expressive, I guess, because
Can you
when
share,
we
if it's okay, can you share your animal also with us?
yeah, I thought of a bird, nothing very
Hmm.
specific, just a bird. Though what I feel is that when we are talking or when we are verbally expressing our feelings, we have to, sometimes think a lot that
Hmm.
oh, aisa nahi bolna, the person can get hurt or something like that. So you know, going by that lines, imitating and using movement, I think it was liberating.
Hmm. Okay. So we have some 2 3 chats. Bhavya definitely concerned if people could discern which animal I was. Yes, you were a squirrel, right? And it was definitely a little awkward at first, but I ended up feeling more comfortable in my skin towards the end. Yeah, of course. Me too. But it's fun. It's sometimes fun to let go of yourself. That's why you need a safe space. People can be monkeys, can be. Dhruva, can you tell me your animal as well in chat? Everybody can at least share their animals. Shweta, Kainat, Surya, deer. Oh, deer. That's nice. How is deer for you? That's a very expressive body. A deer's body is very expressive. Rabbit, very true, very expressive. Squirrel, Bhavya's was squirrel, yes. Dog, okay. And more people tell me your animals, please. Cat. Hmm. Okay. Confused in choosing, opted for lion then. Hmm. Lion is great too. There's so much things, and there must be so many feelings because animals express their feelings so openly without words sometimes, and we also recognize them sometimes, right? So I will tell you a little depth in this. So expression of emotions, especially internal emotions and hard emotions, is extremely can be triggering for people. We did trauma also. Oh, very cute, a particular puppy. We did trauma also. So expressing for someone who is not okay with words or with expressing their very hard emotion. Very cute. Okay, with hard emotions, it's easier to externalize your self. Look at yourself from an outside perspective. When I'm an elephant, one time I did this activity and somebody was a sloth. And they said, I'm feeling so lazy. And they just kept lying like a sloth and did their movement slowly. And they said that it just, I don't know, I did that slowly and I was not feeling very energetic in myself and life. So I did that. And I was like, yeah, externalization of an emotion. This is a part of narrative approach. And emotion can manifest itself as an outside stimulus in this. That my happy emotion, I'm imitating that. So I don't have to deal with it directly. Thus, there is more space for catharsis. And it creates a safe space immediately. Because मेरे को direct approach से मुझे direct confrontation नहीं करना है. So indirect and safety creation is done like this. If you're in a movements workshop in person and everybody is an animal, everybody is acting, everybody is doing movement. So there is physical catharsis of that. Okay, so any questions on this? Any reflections on it? Yes, Bhavya.
Like you said, I think like the first animal, like it instinctively came to me. And I was wondering if it does happen, like every different time you do this activity, you feel like a different animal. Or is this like you do it with the core animal, something like that?
Yeah, every animal can be like a different emotion. For me today, it was elephant. Sometimes it's a dog when I'm extremely excited. Then sometimes it's a squirrel. So everybody can associate animals for themselves. When you're alone in a room, when you just want to do catharsis, irritation, like someone chose lion, so just roar it out. Someone chose a rabbit, just jump, hop around. That's that's how you get in touch with your inner self. That's how you get in touch with your inner child as well. And catharsis is maximum because our body is involved. So I will go to the next slide. It's again an activity. This is a very interesting activity to be honest, but like I will share a music with you guys. uh links. It's I'm sending Spotify and YouTube in case people don't have Spotify or anything like that. So in your spaces, I'll just send the YouTube link maybe because everybody has YouTube. You can access it to the link. Please go to the link and listen to the music. And I want everyone to move with the music. As the music progresses, your movements will change. Please recognize those and share them with me. So we'll start that. I'll also do it. You can go in your own spaces and do that. Okay. So as and when people listen to it, they can come back. Yeah, it was nice for me too. How are people feeling? What do they feel when you are moving on beats? You can write in chat. I want to know like details. How was your body feeling? Where did you feel something? Think about these things when you were moving. It can be your head also. Like just this movement also has so much movement. So what did this part feel? What this I want you to recognize, everyone to recognize what they where they felt, what they felt. How are you feeling? Just the feelings check in. Avantika said, very nice. Did you feel very nice or the activity? Felt so many different things. Very soothing and aesthetic. Very much inspiring. Yes. Bhavya, what were the things that you felt? You said feeling so many things. You can write, speak.
Yeah, definitely. Like as each music was, just going from here to there, and I just could feel my body going with the beat. And after a while, I wanted to use my hands, but I was feeling a little,
Hmm.
like I'm on camera, so a little bit, oh, should I really do that? But then I'm like, okay, it's too much now. I have to use my hands. I need to dance a little. And I could also notice that the song itself, it spoke to me in a different way. Like the beats, except with the beats, like the sound was a little of melancholy. So I
Hmm.
could really resonate with that as well.
Hmm. So nice. Yeah, true. And yeah, of course, if everybody had their camera on, nobody would feel awkward, guys. I'm just saying. So we have some um, comments. Feeling fresh, I started with the very slow moves, then gradually movements became very vigorous. Yeah, for me too. That's how the progression goes, as of gradually loading with energy. Yeah, of course. At first, moved with caution. I didn't know what emotion is gonna unfold. Then it became very happy, moved freely. Then at last felt a little sad and had some restricted movements. Hmm. So, Surya, if you can elaborate on that, like, did you? I'm glad that you noticed this. It's such a good insight that at last you felt a little sad and restricted. Was there like recognize for yourself? You don't have to share. Just, oh, I had some, maybe I had something, some emotion that was difficult, but I felt it, which is so nice. Like it's good to feel those emotions also. A little sad and restricted movements are also good to feel. So I'm glad you had that. You can share it with me separately. You can share it on the group, that how exactly did it manifest in your body. The song was very calming. I honestly was only in my head because most of the time the song was teleporting me to another place. That's also there. That's internal movement. You're internally moving from like maybe dimensions. I somehow felt very melancholic, so my movements matched that. Oh, like Bhavya said, especially my shoulders and arms toward the end of it. Very nice. Hmm. So good. I'm so glad. These are really good insights and really good feelings to hold yourself with. So we'll hold the space, will hold these feelings for now. The melancholia, the restricted and tired and a sad movement, then happy, free, liberating movements. That's such a good thing to have, to feel liberated. So we'll hold those things. And now we'll move. Yeah, we already discussed that. What did your body say? What is the state of mind? This activity is called movement grounding. Okay, so you ground yourself through movement and you express yourself, which helps in catharsis as well. So the next is body and its roles. So every emotion, when you feel it, you'll realize it in your body being manifested. So there are a lot of body parts which trigger a lot of emotions, and if we really recognize them, physically we can ground ourselves first before getting into it. So yesterday we were also talking about trauma, and when somebody maybe is having panic, or if there is that trigger that is there, the first thing you need to do is ground them in that their physical space first, and just help them recognize that my body is feeling this. So at this point, my chest feels heavy. So, oh, this is the feeling that I'm having. Hand pressed on chest, my head is feeling heavy. At that moment, a little pressure on head. This is how we can ground ourselves first thing without even articulating it with the therapist or with the group or with anyone. We just have to ground ourselves physically first. So by doing this, I grounded myself. Taken a 2, 3 deep breaths, recognized, oh, my hands are feeling numb and my chest is feeling heavy. So I'll do this. Most of the time, my body recognition is this and this, because this is where I feel the heaviest, these two places. It can be legs for some people, it can be head for some people, it can be neck for some people. Recognize your body parts and when do you feel that heaviness, in what emotion. That will help you ground you and your client. So if your client is feeling triggered, recognize their body, create a physical safe space for them at that moment, and then talk and therapy can go forward. This is for any group. So if you're talking about LGBTQ, if we're talking about people facing systemic oppressions, physical space grounding helps. You can see this photograph for a second. I think it was there. And the next is our body. So I've already explained few things, the pressure point and grounding ourselves through body, communicating with it. Another thing is psychologically the defense mechanism. I feel movement helps in working in manipulating the defense mechanisms. Movement and all expressive art techniques. So defense mechanisms can be more conducive. If I'm feeling that I've repressed feelings, but my body doesn't really know that. So through movement, through expression, that catharsis will happen without overwhelming me. Because I'm seeing this, if we did the animal activity. Can be that, oh, some person is feeling very hurt and they choose an animal to express that hurt. Now that repressed feeling of hurt is outside without overwhelming because they are feeling I'm doing imitation and it's just acting. But a lot of things came out of that. Any comments, any reflections after this? Please write those. Very interesting. Anyone else who's thinking that they have done maybe in the past that whenever they felt something, they unconsciously touched their neck? That, oh, I felt something, now I'm touching my neck. If you recognize that, write an yes or anything. Just recognize your body. Write a yes or a no. Come on, guys. If you've not felt, that's also okay in your body. If you have like 16, 17 people, come on, guys, tell me. Humans. I will give a minute if that's what you want. Hmm. Uh, yeah, of course. I just asked that if you have felt any emotion in your body, do you recognize that? Like, Surya shared that they feel a stiffness in their neck whenever they suppress their anger. So I feel it in my hand sometimes, in my chest sometimes. So anybody has recognized that, you can write that or just say yes or no. Yes, the caps. Okay, so we'll move forward. Now we'll talk about safe spaces. We discussed how, oh, always, whenever I'm angry, I feel it in my head. If I'm anxious, then I feel it in my chest. Yes. Yes, I feel heavy in my chest when I feel guilty. Hmm. Yes. Good. Yeah, very true. I like so it's good to recognize these things so that we can put pressure. I feel anxious if I feel it is rushing in my whole head. Yeah, that's also very true. Thank you. Thank you guys for sharing that. So now we'll talk about the safety aspect for self and for the queer community. It's applied for all people facing systemic oppression, but we'll apply it. And again, a disclaimer: me and Bhavya both we are queer friendly, but we are not queer affirmative. So if you also get a client like Bhavya already said, who is facing trauma or accessing safe spaces, I think as community stakeholders, we can help them access safe spaces. So that's what we can do when we are queer friendly only. Where affirmative takes a lot of things, and we all need to, upskill ourselves to that. But for safe spaces, uh, first of all, tell me what are like some of your safe spaces. I feel my safe space is my room, and a safe person I would say would be my sister maybe. So she's also a space for me. Safe spaces can be people, safe spaces can be uh spaces also. So it'll be my room and my sister. So if you don't want to share, you can keep it with yourself, note that down, and note down what are your safe spaces. Again, the first thing that we can do with anyone uh, facing any difficulty would be first acknowledging that it's unfair. They don't have to take it on themselves. Acknowledge their struggle and their resilience. Then we move on to finding or establishing safe spaces. We acknowledge the struggle and then we establish the safe space. So for the safe space, it can be asking them only. Some people write, that's their safe space. Some people uh, maybe dance, that's their safe space. So recognizing community members' safe spaces and then helping them create that would be a good thing. Then as a mental health professional, uh, even when we are outside, I feel we need to, as a community, and for that community, create a safe space. So we've already discussed yesterday about the stakeholders and just why it is important to be trauma informed and queer affirmative / friendly. Why is it important? We've already talked about that. But this one thing I wanted to add was through bodies, how can we create a safe space outside and inside our professional spaces? So if anybody has any suggestions, they can tell me, and then I can also tell you some of my experiences. Through bodies, through physical spaces, how can we create a safe space? Yeah, Bhavya.
So just to initiate a conversation around this, I think one thing like what I've also learned growing up, and not like some things are not taught to us, right? Some things
Hmm.
we stumble upon, some things we realize after taking help for our own selves. So when we are in spaces which are not safe, we internalize a dialogue which is not safe.
Hmm.
We are cruel or critical to our own selves. So in that sense, I feel to have a safe space in our own selves, in our body, in our inner dialogue, I would say, becomes essential. So if I am someone who's always say, "Oh my God, why did you say that? Why did you do that?" Right? To just notice, "Oh, I just said that," and that's coming
Hmm.
from a place of hatred, and just to talk about that in a way, like just a small example, just to initiate this conversation.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. That would open and create safe space for the person in front of you also, and for yourself also. That is very true. Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Uh, so I had a question.
Yes, Kainat, you can speak. I can't hear you
Hello.
if you're speaking.
Hello.
It's not audible still.
I think her voice came very faintly and then
Yeah.
went away.
Can maybe put your mic closer to your mouth?
Um, Hi.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened. I think my headphones are not working. So, I just wanted to ask, like, if somebody is there in a session and they say that their safe space is just like what you said, Ira, that your safe space is your room or some particular family member or your friend. So, how do we respond after that? Like, how can we make that our maybe a therapist's room? How can that become a safe space after what they have already suggested their safe space is?
So it is extremely important that outside your therapy room should also be there. There should be safe spaces there also. Because they're not going to be in therapy with you all the time. We need to recognize their safe spaces outside therapy room. Of course, we need to make a safe space when we are there as a therapist. But it's good. As a therapist, it helps me know that, oh, when my client is not with me, they have a safe space to access. It ensures their safety. So it's good. They suggested that their room and their this person is there. So I will maybe talk it out and help them navigate that, oh, what how can you make these spaces more accessible? How can these spaces be more conducive? So if a person has said that my room is my safe space and they shifted, they are in a new city now. They said that my room was my safe space. So now we can have a conversation around it and help them make their current room their safe space. Why was your older room your safe space? How can we create this room as your safe space when you're not in the session? And with the bodies and the people who are outside, when we talk about that, so I'll share an example and an experience. A person from the queer community, I met them and I not really knew them, but we just generally talked on the station. So when we were traveling, I could see that they were feeling uncomfortable and they were feeling that they were unsafe in their body. As a therapist, we need to recognize when a person is feeling that without them speaking to. That's the body's role. That's what we want to learn. So if I'm recognizing, this is for everyone, not even mental health professionals. If we recognize the body, I could recognize that the person was feeling unsafe in their body, restricted, jittery, feeling unsafe, looking here and there. I wanted to suggest that travel with us. So I looked back and the person was right behind me only. And they said that, can I travel with you? I said, yes, please. I was going to ask only. So, and when we entered the train, I, with my body, I made sure that I made space for them because I can see that the other spaces are not as safe for them. So I did that with my body. I made sure that they passed through. We sat, we had a conversation. I made sure that the people around them who were making it unsafe for them, with my conversation and with my physical presence, I make it a safe space for them. So just through bodies, I didn't even say anything to them. So recognizing your own body will help you do that with the people in front of you. They can be from any community. I'm sharing this because the queer community faces a lot of oppression. A lot of people around them, physical spaces are triggering for them. And as a community, especially as mental health stakeholders, we can do that. So recognize your own body and then the person in front of you. Any things, any suggestions? Anyone want to say anything? Kainat, does that like sort of answer the safe spaces one, the question that answers what you asked?
Yes, yes. Actually, I was under the impression that while we ask them what their safe space is, we are trying to make a safe space for them like where they are right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's why I just got confused that if somebody is saying that their safe space is their room, how can we make that particular arrangement or particular
Yeah,
thing?
of course. But I guess that also psychologically, I think this happens that if you ask someone about their safe spaces, sort of feel that, oh, they care about my safe spaces, they care about my safety. So I am 10% more safe here. I feel 10% more safe here because they acknowledge my safe space. So
True.
what you're asking, that will automatically transit to that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so next slide is our uh, I would really like participation in this. This one is more of a grounding thing and more of a closing aspect. I want everyone to make a body movement that will help you release any emotion that you're feeling right now. It can be excitement, it can be overwhelming, it can be tiredness, anything. Before that, before you do that, just tell me where your energies are. Like we did with Bhavya, tell me what are you feeling in, like, from 0 to 10. Where is everybody? How are they feeling? 0 least energetic or least stimulated with emotions, and 10 being most excited, most stimulated by emotions. 6, 6, 4. More answers. 7, 5. Okay. So now we're not very emotionally stimulated, which is great also because it's average. So it's fine. Now everybody choose a movement and you have to do that movement to let out that emotion. Okay. And if you can, like, switch on your camera, that would be great because I would love that if we could imitate the movement of each other so that we have some kind of connection with people. So if I'm giving you like 10 seconds to open your video, doesn't matter if you're in bed, how you look, it really doesn't matter. Just switch on your cameras if that's okay. We're just sharing a safe space with each other. Okay, cool. So we'll just imitate the body movement. Not imitate it because we can't see, so we'll just do it within our sets. But if you also want to switch off your camera and do it, you can. Yeah, that's okay. I get it. Sometimes the bandwidth is not there, so that's okay. So everybody just do it by themselves. Take a minute and do a movement that will let out any emotion that you're feeling. When everyone is done, write a Y in the chat. You can continuously do it too, but like if you're done for now, you can write a Y. Okay. 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 Cool. Now, the thing that we talked about the pressure points, I want everybody to recognize where they're feeling anything, excitement, tiredness, anything, frustration, irritation, anything, and put pressure on that part for at least a minute. Okay. I think one more minute to that. Okay. How is everyone feeling? Can we do a small feelings check in, check out, whatever everybody would like? We wait for a minute and people can write in chat or unmute. Feeling. Yeah, it makes sense. Of course it does. Beautiful. Anybody else who would like to share? Shweta, Kainat, Nidhi, anyone? Just one word emotion is also okay. Some release. Hmm. Yes. Great. I'm glad. So, from my side, the activities and I am started feeling tired, so I started clapping my hands and arms. Wow, that's great. That's also nice. Like I did. I wanted to release some kind of emotion, so I did this because they're leaving things that we felt in the session so that it's not overwhelming for us after we leave the session. But I'm glad, Kana. That's very fun. Little calmer. Hmm. Good. I'm glad. Okay. So the feelings can keep on coming in. I'm here only. Uh, from my side, it's over. If you would like, then I can just sum it up if you want that, or if you've already made your notes, if you like that, anything, because we would be giving assignments. So it would be nice if you do that. But it's done from my side. Tomorrow, we'll have art based workshop. So it'll be you need paper, crayons, sketch pen or crayons, sketch pen, paints, anything you prefer, and a paper. And it'll also be filled with activities only. So we'll create some art for ourselves and how that can help us and our clients if we're a mental health professional, and if we're self, it helps in grounding too. Any questions? Any remarks? Anything? I'll wait for a minute. Till when do we have to submit the assignment? So we'll let you know in the mail about the details of it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for this wonderful work, very informative and helpful. You're a great facilitator. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope we can all apply these things in our daily life because I do, and it helps in grounding. So I hope it helps you too. Thank you. Was more excited today. I feel I was very excited. Oh, workshop. Okay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. You can leave as and then when you feel comfortable. And if anyone has to share anything, they can stay. They can share it with me and Bhavya. We both are open to that. I think we've already shared our emails, so you have those. If you have anything to talk about after this session, you can do that. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Ira, for this wonderful session. It was so calming.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being there participating. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, you're welcome. That's the whole aim of that.